Scattered amongst the hills of southern Turkey, the remains of numerous carefully crafted stone churches sit hidden and underappreciated. Their beautiful decoration is a testament to the great skill of craftsmen and the innovative techniques that they used to create the architecture that represented the leading technology of their time. These forgotten gems are now accessible to the hiking public. A collaboration between local villagers and a team of archaeologists and linguists from Akdeniz University has rediscovered and opened the old roads and footpaths that connect between the various settlements, monasteries, and churches that dot the landscape. These routes are divided into 8 different day walks that revolve around 3 of the most prominent and best preserved churches in the area. West Sarjik is the most glorious, with its commanding hilltop location and views of both the blue Mediterranean and the large mountain ranges of the interior. This exquisitely decorated monastery church is part of a larger complex that spreads across a number of nearby hilltops. Alacahisar is mostly carved out of solid rock, and is therefore the most complete. This church best illustrates the architectural style used during the early Byzantine period. It has a triconchos floor plan in which the sanctuary evokes the image of a 3-leaf clover with 3 arched apses surrounding the altar in the center. And then finally there is Alakilise, which means the multicolored church. As its name implies, the church was once known for its decoration of frescoes, but unfortunately they have been lost to years of exposure and disuse. Many of the structures in this region were damaged in earthquakes, particularly in the 8th through 9th century, but Alakilise was rebuilt in 812 AD. This church was dedicated to the Archangel Gabriel. This region has a history that extends far beyond these churches. There was a long procession of cultures and empires. The Lycians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans. They were all drawn to the strategic importance of the coastline and the prosperity of trade and agriculture. Each left its mark on the region, and you will see remnants of their civilizations as you explore this countryside. There are enormous stone sarcophagi dotting the landscape. You will discover mountaintop fortresses overlooking the sea, as well as miles and miles of old Roman roads. This region was also a destination for pilgrimage. Towards the end of the Roman era, Nikolaos, Bishop of Myra, established a cathedral on the plain outside of the city walls. He became famous for his kindness, including dropping bags of gold down the chimney of poor girls. Travelers from the busy port made the pilgrimage along the mile-long, covered road between the city and the church. Likewise, today thousands of tourists flock to the ruins of the city and the Church of St. Nicholas, whose legend has now developed into the modern figure of Santa Claus, also known as Father Christmas. Almost 200 years later, a second Nicholas became the abbot of a monastery in the hills above the city. Soon, he too was renowned and respected for his miracles, and pilgrims visited his church too. The prominence of this area and its famous patron saints made it a religious destination for many years to come, and the wealth accumulated over that time was considerable. You can see this in the richness of the architecture, but also in museums around the world. In 1963, a large collection of gold and silver artifacts was discovered in the plain below. The collection includes candle holders decorated with dolphin figures, incense burners with gold relief biblical scenes, and even large decorative platters with inset crosses. Much of the treasure was smuggled out of the country and is held in the United States at the Dumbarton Oaks Estate in Washington, D.C., but some of it remains here in Antalya, where it is displayed in the Archaeology Museum. In addition to rich history, this region is also home to stunning natural beauty and a welcoming local population. Rugged mountain slopes rise up from the Mediterranean and crest with breathtaking views of the coastline and the taller inland peaks. You will explore this region on goat paths and Roman roads that are still used to this day by the area's shepherds and villagers.
Şu anda Batı Akdeniz Kalkınma Ajansı ile onardığımız ve turizm açtığımız Beymelek Taşevler'in Hümmet Kocağı konağının bahçesindeyiz. Bu konak benim babamın dedesi zamanında yaklaşık 1912 yıllarında yapılmış bir bina. Ben 58 yaşındayım. Bunun çok geriye doğru 50 yılını gayet net hatırlıyorum. Burada geçim kaynağımız buğday, arpa ve hayvancılıktı. İşte bu evlerin alt katlarında büyükbaş hayvanlarımız, yemlerimiz, samanlarımız, bahçede tavuklarımız vardı. Ve karşıda gördüğümüz tahıl ambarı o yıl doluysa, yani hasat iyi geçmişse bölgenin en zengini sen sayılırdım. Tabi aradan 100 yıl geçti. Ben de torunlar olarak bu bölgede tarımdan sonra turizmin olabileceğini, Likya yolu üzerinde alternatif geçim kaynağı olarak turizmin yapılabileceğini ve kültür ve inanç turizmi rotalarının yapılabileceğini göstermeye çalıştım. Ki buna başardığımızı da inanıyorum. Emeği geçen herkese, başta Sayın Kate Klove'a da teşekkürlerimi sunarım. Sağ olun.